Okay guys, hey, this is the Sportsman S Plus. It's a E-flite Horizon Hobbies trainer. Hey, if you're like me, about 25 years ago, in my 20s, I was really into aircraft, RC aircraft. I built a few planes. Everyone I flew, I got a trainer. It was a gas-powered trainer, and I got it up in the air and I crashed it every time. So, you know, through life challenges and stuff, I kind of just gave it up, and here I am, you know, so many years later, and wanting to get back into RC aircraft. And for me, you know, I went on I bought a book on beginners, and ironically, the book came and it was like the beginners how to fly it. I'll get you the name of the title on the bottom of the screen there. But ironically, it was all about electric aircraft, and that's what's really dominating the market these days. You can get yourself a gas-powered airplane, but what I did is I read the book. It you know, explained what kind of airplane is best for you. Said to join the AMA, which I did, get yourself insurance, and then find a flying club. I visited about 3 flying clubs. I found Temecula Valley Flyers here. This is my home here. I'm going to keep promoting this Temecula Valley Flyers Hall Field. You know, it's been here a long time. There's a lot of great guys here that'll help you out. I got 2 guys that are my mentors, Ken being the main one. But anyways, take you to this. So here's the Sportsman S Plus. What's so great about this plane, you know, there's the 15E, the Apprentice, right? The Apprentice is the other one. I bet you there's probably 80 to 90% more people buying that aircraft. And that one basically has safe flight built into it, where it'll only let you go 40 degrees, and then you can switch a button and you can go 90, and then basically in expert mode you can do rolls and loops and all you want. Well, that one does this too. But I think, for me at least, and you know, people will say it as well, you need confidence when you're in the air, because you don't, you know, you spend a little bit of money. These things are a couple $100, you know, maybe $300 for the, you know, with the radio and everything. But for me, this one actually has a few other functions. So the 15, the Apprentice, I've had people in my club lose 2 or 3 of them. And basically, you get too far away, out of radio range or out of sight, and they're gone. Luckily, we got the water district around here. We've had a couple of them return. They found them. Well, that's a cool thing. But the Sportsman Plus is different, because this thing has got a geofence. And I'll show it to you right now. There's a couple modes you can set it up in. There's the virtual fence park setting, or there's the airfield setting. You can see the airfield setting. So I'm standing basically here in the pits, right? If you set it up like this, you go out here and do 90 degrees on the runway, and then you do your turn, and then you hit the throttle 100%. When it gets to 90%, it's going to lock in your heading. It's going to know that everything behind the pits is off limits, and everything this way is where you want to fly. Okay, so that's awesome, all right? This is also park setting. So if you're in an big open field, you can go pretty much 650 feet radius, so 1,300 some feet, right, in each direction. So that's a pretty big flying envelope. That's the envelope I have it in right now. And we're not supposed to fly behind our pits. I keep that rule here. There's nobody here today, so if I want to go behind the pits, I don't think it's that bad of a thing. So, hey, right out of the box, a couple things happen. When I bought this plane, and I did, there's a calibration where you do this weird dance. So there's a gyro in here you got to calibrate, and I did that. But as soon as I turned it on, the right wing aileron went up straight and locked. There were no flight controls, no thrust, no nothing. I troubleshot it, went through all the manual. I even called Horizon Hobby, got the tech online. You know, in the book here, it says that if that's a problem, it's actually a calibration failure. So the person online, I guess, probably didn't know that or not, but they sent me a brand new receiver in here. I've got an extra receiver, which I'm building a Mustang, and I'm gonna put that receiver inside my Mustang. But as it turns out, was this was okay. All you had to do was do the calibration dance, get it, and set it on the ground, and everything worked just fine. So anyway, so here's what we're doing. I'm gonna take this aircraft up in the air and kind of show you how it works right now. Flip it over. This is a little bit bummer about this, is you gotta flip it over to install the flight battery. I know the center of gravity is basically right in the middle of where the strap is, right here. And for some reason, when they put this in China, they didn't put that little black strap in correctly, right? So oops, radio was on. Okay, radio is on. I'm going to walk over to the flight line, and since we're in park mode, I'm going to take you up and do a auto land. But to do an auto land, it's going to return to wherever you are. So if you're going to want it to return to wherever you are, you better put it where you want it. So right now we're going to put it right out in the middle of the runway, right here, this bullseye. How about that? Okay. Radio is on. Flight. Radio is on. Throttle's down. Everything's low. Put it on low rates for now. This button right here is the different modes. So here's the beginner. This is beginner mode. Flight mode 2 is intermediate and expert mode. So I'm going to put it in beginner mode for now. Okay. Throttle's down. Guys, I have never crashed this airplane. That's how cool this thing is. I've had it for about 4 months now. Look, there's really no damage. I mean, there's some hanger dings from getting it in and out of my truck. So now you're going to listen for it to link up to the satellites. Step back here. Still linking with the satellites. There it goes. And you're ready. Now we're linked up with satellites. It's got a GPS, elevator's good, rudder's good, power's good. Okay, I'm going to step back here. Take off. We've got no flaps. A little bit of a wind now, so that's it, man. Pretty easy flyer. So we're in beginner mode. That means you can't see. I can wag my wings. I can't flip it over right now. That's as much as I can turn. Right? Awesome deal. Okay, so now put it in intermediate mode. Now I can turn. See how much I can turn? Almost a 90-degree bank. I'm just flying my timbers. This thing's a little faster than my timber. When you get down below 35 feet, it automatically will go into the where you can't go more than 40 degrees. I'm going to put that in flight mode 1. Now if you go too far away from the fence, it's going to wag its wings. See, let's try it. See, it's wanting to come back. Isn't that awesome? See, it's wagging its wings. Okay, do I have control? I do have control. Okay, if at any time you want it to come back, say you're going back and you just want to go into orbit, all you gotta do is tap the bind button. Boom. It's gonna go into an orbit. It's basically circling kind of where we're at. Okay, to get out of that, hit the bind button, knock the throttle off. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to auto land. Just hold this button for 3 seconds. There it goes, it's taking off all by itself. It should know the heading. Well, that was a little violent. Going to do a base leg. Now at this point, you still have a little control. It's a little rough landing, but hey, it gets you to the ground. That's rougher than I would land, but it did it. I mean, if you didn't know how to land, it did it for you. So let's take it back up. We're in beginner mode. I think you have to hit the bind button at that point. Okay, we're good to go. A little bit of a wind just kicked in just then. That's crazy. Okay. I'm just going to bring it in, do an approach on my own, see how easy this is. I mean, I'm in beginner mode. I'm down by 35, 40 feet, so you can't tilt it much more than 40 degrees. This is what's so great about this aircraft, right? The Apprentice does the same thing, but the Apprentice does not have this virtual fence. You can get a flight control and put that in there. You can get GPS, put it into it. We got a lot of wind all of a sudden. A lot of wind just picked up. Look at that wind. That's just wind. That's no throttle. Look at that glide. That's just wind. Give it a little back pressure. That was just wind. Wow, we got a lot of wind coming up. So you're new to the sport, you're new to the hobby, you're looking for aircraft. I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of apprentices missing. It's three that I know of. So this is a cool airplane. I highly recommend it. It's been a wonderful thing for me. I'm really enjoying it. It comes with a little FPV mount if you want to put a camera on it, which is kind of cool, right above the canopy. And wow, there's a lot of wind right now. This is going to be a little challenging, guys. A lot of wind. That's it. Sportsman S Plus. Click it and buy it. One other thing I wanted to add was, you can tell you're in safe mode. Check this out. So the aircraft is trying to right itself up. So if you go tilting, see how the aileron's pushing it back the other way or the other way? So you don't know, see that there's an elevator? There you go. It's showing you right now that it's in safe mode. Look at the elevators and the rudder and everything moving. Just trying to keep this thing level, doing the best it can. So, yeah. When you're flipped over, it's going to want to roll back over here like that. That's what's so cool about this aircraft. There's a lot of flight control systems out there you can get as well to add to any airplane, but this thing's pretty darn cool, man. Bang for the buck. That's where it's at.